How's it going, everyone? My name is Jimmy Champagne. I hope you're having a great week, and I just spent my entire day downtown at Xbox's E3 showcase. I had an absolute blast checking out games like Borderlands 3, Gears of War 5, and just seeing Halo Infinite on screen and hearing about the next Xbox was absolutely breathtaking. But the best part of all during the entire showcase for me was when they announced a Blair Witch video game for Xbox One and PC that's actually coming out very soon. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when this trailer started up and I saw a camcorder, I thought this was about to be Outlast 3, which would be very exciting for me as well, but as soon as I heard the words Black Hills Forest, I knew this was a Blair Witch game and I lost my shit. I was screaming. Everyone around me was like looking at me like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Blair Witch. There's what that movie from the 90s? What? It's being developed by Bloober Team, who are the people behind three of my favorite horror games of all time, Layers of Fear, Layers of Fear 2, and the criminally underplayed Observer. Like, if you haven't played that game, it's available on PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. You absolutely need to play it. But this game looks like it's going to be right in their wheelhouse of first-person survival horror. The Blair Witch Project came out in 1999, but it actually took place in 1994, and this game takes place 2 years later in 1996. It doesn't seem like it's exactly connected to the movie. You play as a character named Ellis, who's a detective taking his dog named Bullet out into the Black Hills Forest to find a missing child, which doesn't really sound like he's looking for Heather or anyone related to the movie. The trailer that was showed during the Xbox briefing was super vague. It didn't really look like actual gameplay, but then the developers went on Jeff Keighley's live show after the event and showed off some real gameplay, and it looks a lot like the trailer. You're going to be exploring the forest using a flashlight and a camcorder. You're going to be solving puzzles, but something they confirmed, which is really interesting, is that it's going to have combat, which is a first for Bloober Team. They've never really had combat in any of their games, so I'm really curious to see how you'll face off against the monsters that are hiding in the Black Hills Forest in this game. Now, I'm absolutely obsessed with the lore of the Blair Witch universe ever since I saw the first movie and the documentary that came out along with it. I just think it's so cool that once you're in the woods, the witch can move them around you to make it so you'll never get out, and she can also alter time so that it's always night, and that looks like it's playing into this game pretty well. You're going to have a camcorder, and throughout the trailer you see the character rewinding and fast forwarding it to see the areas he's in different time periods, which is a really cool puzzle mechanic that doesn't alter the lore of the universe in any way. I like that a lot. Speaking of the Blair Witch universe as a whole though, it is a pretty weird one because past the first movie and the fake documentary that came out with it, people don't really seem to like anything else that's been released after those. You've got Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows, which is not a really good movie at all. You've also got 3 PC games, which were kind of well received, but not really. I think they're pretty fun, but they're definitely not great games. And then on top of that, you've got the Blair Witch sequel from a couple years ago, which a lot of people don't like. I personally absolutely love that movie, but I understand why other people don't like it. And as far as that Blair Witch sequel goes, the reason it's so noteworthy is because it was directed by Adam Wingard and written by Simon Barrett. They're an incredible directing and writing team. They're two of my favorite people in the horror genre as a whole, so people naturally reached out to them and asked, hey, are you working on this Blair Witch game? But Simon confirmed that no, he had nothing to do with writing this story, which is both kind of good and bad if you ask me. It makes sense though when you consider that this game takes place 2 years after the original movie and nowhere near the sequel, which took place basically in modern day. But Simon did confirm that he's friends with the people at Bloober Team and he's excited to see what they do with the story, which is all I really needed from him. The simultaneously coolest and scariest thing about this game though is that we don't have to wait long to play it at all. It's actually just coming out in a couple months on August 30th, and it's only going to cost $30. Now, it's only going to be on Xbox One and PC at launch, but I'm sure it'll come to PS4 down the line. And the reason I said this is scary is because Layers of Fear 2 came out just a couple weeks ago on May 28th, and I'm not really sure how big Bloober Team is. Like, we have no idea how long they've been working on this game, but I'm assuming they started it probably pretty soon after Observer, and they might have 2 teams working on 2 different games. That's really what I'm hoping, because knowing that the game is coming out so soon, it's like, how long did you spend on this? I really hope this was a passion project and something they really care about, more than a thing to pay the bills and keep the lights on. I don't have any reason to believe it's one of those games, but the fact that it's a movie game, it's coming out so soon after it was announced, you kind of have to think that way. You have to, take it with a grain of salt. That's all I'm saying. The other thing I'm kind of worried about with this game is that they're going to tell us way too much about the Blair Witch's lore, and it's going to sort of ruin the mystery for everyone. The idea of going into the woods to find a child kind of scares me in itself because it means that you're probably going to make it out, or at least the kid is, and I kind of just like the idea of never being able to make it out of these woods once the Blair Witch realizes you're in them and moves the woods around you. Like, I like that there's combat and you'll be able to fight the monsters she's created. I just don't like the idea of being able to escape her. I love the idea of her being this omnipotent force that's just moving these woods around people and making it so they can never escape. It's terrifying. That being said though, the fact that you get to bring your dog Bullet out into the woods with you kind of of gives them an easy scapegoat to not tell you too much about the Blair Witch and her lore, but also give you a way out since dogs can use their nose and kind of pick up a trail and get you out of the woods. It also gives them some opportunities to play with some good gameplay mechanics like using your dog to find clues or get you to the next point in the story, which I like a lot. I love having dogs in games. I like that this is a fully programmed AI character and you can pet him when he's a good boy. That's just the best. I love petting dogs in games. We need to be able to pet more dogs in games. That's all I'm saying. And just some quick closing thoughts here. I thought the trailer was great, and seeing you be able to pull up an inventory wheel in a Bloober Team game really puts into perspective how far they've come since putting out Basement Crawl on the PS4. That game was largely broken and terrible, and since then they've only put out good games. So I'm just excited to see what they're gonna do with one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you on Blair Witch. Make sure you let me know what you think of this game down in the comments below, and also let me know what games you're excited about from E3. I'm gonna be on the show floor Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'll be able to check out any games you guys want to see. When you subscribe, remember to hit the notification bell so you get an email every time I upload a video, and I think that's about it. So as always, my name is Jimmy Champagne, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.